Hey, welcome to Viking Preparedness. I am Pastor Joe Fox. Going around the horn in the news, just kind of talking. May rant a little bit. Earthquakes continue in California. Earthquakes, evidently, I saw the headlines for an article that I sent to my brother who kind of watches these things now. Earthquakes are up worldwide. They're up in numbers and severity. There shall be earthquakes in diverse places. Things going on, things to watch. Once again, I am totally not worried about New Madrid here. But some of you should probably be worried. And there are earthquakes kind of popping up in weird places. So that's kind of, it bears watching. Iran is starting to enrich, or says they're going to enrich uranium to a quality that makes bombs, nuclear bombs. Israel's not going to stand for that. Although, honestly, I have wondered over the years why Israel let Iran get as far as they did with the processing nuclear material. And I really think that maybe Israel isn't strong enough or capable enough to do anything about it. But now they have Trump. I think something's going to happen there. The Democrats continue their hysteria. I watched several videos by a girl. She's a woman, but she's very young. I think she's the woman who graduated from Kent State and posed with an AR-15. I think that's who she is, and her channel is Liberty something. And I guess she's a contributor worker for Alex Jones, and she's a little girl. She's kind of pretty. She wades into crowds of leftists and kind of acts very nice, very, and ask them questions that just trigger them. How do you allow yourself to be triggered? Never allow yourself to be triggered. Never let somebody have the control of your emotions. But oh my gosh, she just goes in and triggers these leftists horribly. And so I was watching her, and I'm talking about Trump. That's kind of why I'm thinking about that. And so Trump just said something that triggered all the leftists about whoever this Congress critter woman is from Somalia, who just is un-American as heck and is definitely a hardcore Muslim. And he said, why don't you go back to your own country? And I think he said I think he did kind of mess up a little bit. And he was talking about a few different Congress critters, freshmen, like AOC and others. The Somali's the only one who came directly from another country, but all the other ones are descended from other countries. And they're un-American. They are un-American as crap. And he's basically like, yeah, the countries y'all came from are doing really good. Now, the countries you came from could be the one you literally got on an airplane and came from, or the countries your people came from. My people come from southern Germany and Austria. Granted, over 100 years ago, but that's where they came from. Your countries are doing so well. Why don't you go back there? Because they are all doing horribly, right? But they're all in a Twitter jitter something. They're all energized because he told these women, go back to your own countries. And there's always talk about impeachment. They don't like the election results, so let's push for impeachment. People, in this case, and I know there's a lot of you from other countries, so bear with me, please. Take what I'm saying and apply it to your own country. People generally get the government they deserve. We're going to lose what we have. Make no mistake about it. We're going to lose what we have. You're not going to restore a constitutional republic. It's not going to happen here in the good old USA. Read Glubb. Sir John Glubb. John Mosby turned me on to Glubb. We're done. They're going to try and impeach Trump. There's a lot of us who think Trump's doing a decent job. Not a great job, but a decent job, and certainly better than anybody the left is putting up. But watch for the left to either impeach Trump or win the election. I'm not ready to talk about which one I think it'll be yet. I haven't looked into it deeply enough. They may be afraid to go for impeachment before the election because that'll energize the base. But then they could do it after the election if they maintain their numbers, which they probably will because people get the government they deserve and people vote for Democrats. We'll give you free stuff. Okay. We'll pay for your college loans. Okay. So I fear for the country in that way. Hold on. I have here, look, see, I have two phones. I have, it says my iPhone is no longer working. I live back in the woods, you see. The woman and the kids and the dogs and me. And I got no internet. So they're mad about that. Oh, the sex thing with Epstein. Look, man. These elites, whether they are political elites, sports elites, Hollywood elites, music elites, here, I'm going to say it because I have been having some adult beverage. Yeah, it's a multi-purpose cup. The people who get famous, who make it in this world, there is one prince of this world. And they make a deal with the prince of this world to get there. So yeah, this Epstein thing, absolutely. Those people go there and they had underage girls and they're disgusting. They're all guilty of sin. And no one of any import will be prosecuted. Bill Clinton won't be prosecuted. Can he even put two words together cogently anymore? Let's see. The pagans in Hawaii are, protesting because they don't want some telescope to go on their holy mountain where their goddess of fire is or something. Whatevs. The Million Man March, that's what I'm calling it, on the Area 51. I'm really interested in that. I used to be in a job where I would have oversight of this. Of course, I wouldn't be able to tell you anything. But I am telling you that there are major contingency plans going into place right now. There are already intelligence assets deployed, watching, seeing if there's going to be a buildup, and if there is, we have to take these actions. Bottom line, ain't nobody going to see nothing in Area 51. And if they have to, they will shoot them. And right now it's like, it's a joke, it's not a joke, there's a million people. I'm thinking if there's a million people saying they're going, there'll be thousands of people who show up, and then mob mentality, not so good. And there'll probably be some foreign, not from America, provocateurs in there to try and spin this thing up. So very interesting. I'm interested in watching the response and what happens there. Already talked about earthquakes. Ebola, Algerians going crazy, Dominican Republic, yeah, whatever. Oh, that's what I wanted to talk about. So New York City, power went out, right? And now they're saying, we don't know what caused it, and it could happen again. I've been talking to people in my personal circles lately. I'm really shying away from worrying overly about EMP, despite my video where I showed you how we're doing that. I mean, it's still a real thing. Don't mistake me. I'm thinking there could be some kind of computer virus implanted that shuts down the electricity. And I think the people are playing with it now. And I think they just did it in New York. Let's see what we can do in New York. The EU's GPS all just went down, and they think that could have been hackers. I'm telling you, hackers have been weaponized. There was a time, I don't know, because if I knew, I wouldn't be able to tell you. I think the NSA was hiring hackers. I'm really sure of it now. I don't know, but I'm really sure of it. And clearly Russia is doing it, China's doing it, North Korea is doing it. There are hackers on the government dole. Excuse me. And the more we get into the Internet of Things and 5G, the more havoc that can actually be created by good hackers. So stay tuned for that. You know, all your stuff spies on you, right? Which is why we box all this stuff up and put it in a different room at night. And we're getting to the point where I think we're going to set up a computer space where we go to use our laptops and cell phones. And other than that, it's off-site and not here. But those of you who have Alexa in your house, and maybe somebody will say, Alexa's listening to you anyway, or who have like smart homes, I think you're dumb. That'll get worse. Hillary Clinton's talking like a candidate. I didn't even look at that. It says in Iran, some take off their hijabs as hardliners push back. That's on Drudge. Who do you think's behind that? Who do you think's encouraging those women? Who do you think's reporting on that? We are. And the Dominican Republic. Oh, yeah. And now there's a black female James Bond coming out, and she's ugly to boot. She looks like a man. Come on. No one's going to watch it. They're not going to watch it. They've just killed another franchise in Hollywood. Hollywood has lost their mind. Hollywood has decided they want to use their power to move people, move their minds, and instead of making good movies. And people aren't watching their movies anymore. Go figure. Having said that, switching 180 here, I was watching this woman, the young woman I was speaking about earlier, and she was, I'm making the camera bounce, and she was talking to young males. There you go. Young adult males. They were certainly not men. There were a lot of them. They might dig it. You know, I don't get to hang out with many 20 to 30 somethings. My children, who are my children, so they ain't like that. And the millennial man, he ain't like that. Brother Cody, he ain't like that. So I don't hang out with a lot of young people. But man, I see a lot. And maybe it's just because they get filmed because they're so goofy. I see a lot of these dudes who are probably fit into the incel, MGTOW category, just loser men. They're not men, adult males. It just blows my mind. I'm telling you, if we have the majority of our young adult males, they are adult males. I was going to do men. If we have the majority of our adult males acting like that and thinking like that, we're in trouble. And again, I really wish I could give this woman credit. Go ahead and post her name down below, her channel title, because I know you guys know it. She goes into leftist rallies, so there you go. 100% of the people there are these leftists. But oh my gosh, they're just not right. They're really not right. And they're so emotional, and they are really so full of hate. I saw a guy say, you ought to be, a woman tell her, you ought to be held down by your pigtails and raped. I saw an old man, that's me saying an old man, tell her that something along the lines of he could hold her down and rape her. These people are weird, and they're violent, and they're sick, and it's not come to a head yet. Get out of her. Come out of her, my people. Get out of those cities. Arm yourself. Be well trained. I've got a video coming up on that. I made notes on it today. I am not worried about those people out here. I have sunflowers that are now 12 feet tall. I have a solar system. I have ducks and chickens and my dogs, and I'm hanging out with people who